Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. My name's Connor Williams, and we're back with another one of our 24/7 news report videos. As always, we start with the headline news, and the headline news this evening is that Everton have a strong interest in PSG striker HUGO EKITAKE, and are monitoring the 21-year-old situation at PSG. Everton have made no bid at this point. That came via Alan Myers. It's been a whole day of just EKITAKE. It's just been a whole day of him. It's been his day here. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano this morning broke that Everton have an interest in him, and negotiations will take place over a loan deal with a buy option that could become mandatory. Then we had Sports Zone sort of say that Everton drew the first verbal offer for him, 35 million euros with 5 million bonus. Sports Zone are a journalism media outlet in France. And then sort of since then, the Liverpool Echo chimed in saying that EKITAKE is on Everton's radar, but club insiders say no bid has been lodged. So just it sounds a lot like we were after him or we're looking at him, but no bid's been made yet. And I think that's sort of the overall message, is that no bid's been made yet. Unless some of these, I know earlier on, like some of these Sports Zone, I mean, pinch of salt there, but Fabrizio's Alan Myers is from Sky Sport. He relays what Sky get back, as well as what he can figure out himself. So, and Alan Myers is a decent, reliable sort of contact. Fabrizio Romano is he for me transfers any club, he is the top. And then you've got the Echo, who again, they will have journalists who have relationships with the club too. So they're all. Sports Zone's the only one that I look at, and like if it was just Sports Zone, I wouldn't believe it. But there's no smoke without fire, and there's a lot of smoke around the young lad. I also saw one. I think it might have been FFN. Is it the French journalism account that is just French football? I believe they tweeted out before saying that Enrique and Luis Campos have told a plethora of footballers at PSG that they won't be needed next season. One of them being Neymar, quite big one, but I'm pretty. I'm sure. Not. I'm pretty sure. I am sure. I was certain because I read the tweet. HUGO EKITAKE was one as well. So he obviously has been told by PSG, you're not part of, I believe the wording was, you're not part of the next phase of the project, which is interesting because he's 21. Neymar I sort of get because he's on big wages. I mean, the next part of the project is probably get everybody out and offer Mbappe a golden throne. Yeah, so anyway, back onto EKITAKE. We asked on the Toffee Blues, would you take him at Everton? Leave your thoughts. 78.9% said yeah, 17.7% said I don't know, and 3.4% said no. That's of 1,902 here. My thoughts on it are, it's a bit like the Chimiti transfer, a little bit like the Gnonto one, but Gnonto has had a lot of Premier League games last season and gets regular football for Wolves, for Leeds. But I would say when we got Chimiti, the overall opinion, I think, from most of us was, that's great, but we do need somebody who's going to be ready now. I don't know if he goes straight in the team. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't say I've watched loads of him. I just know his glass ceiling is very, very high. His potential is high. So I don't know. I mean, listen, if we got him, he'd get games. He'd get games anyway because we don't, we're prolonging Tom Cannon's loan agreement till we get strikers in. The club needs strikers. If we got him, he definitely gets games at Everton. Nobody's going to sit him on the bench and then, stick Moipai up there in front of him or something. The club are well aware they need strikers, so he'll get games. I just don't know if maybe a more experienced striker like a Daka and Iniacho, Che Adams might be more sufficient. I'd like to get him, Chimiti, and another experienced striker through the door. But obviously, financial situations, I can't see that being possible. But we'll have to wait and see. All I know is if he progresses the way everyone thinks he will, what a player we're going to have on our hands. We also have that Everton are looking to revisit a move for Leeds United winger Wilfred Gnonto. Personal terms won't be an issue, with Everton laying down the groundwork for a deal since late spring. That came by Jack Talbot. Again, I saw with Gnonto, apparently he's now, I don't think he's travelling with Leeds, and apparently he has spied his backside over the fact that Leeds aren't playing ball with him leaving. I can't remember the journalist media outlet that tweeted it, but I do have it on good authority from seeing it on Twitter that he's not travelled with the squad. And you know what? He clearly doesn't want to play in the Championship next year. And Leeds are sort of saying, well, you're ours. And he's going, well, I'm going. So it's very, very interesting. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. I think we can end up getting Gnonto. We've been linked with him all summer. We also have the German side. Frankfurt have agreed a deal to sign Niels Nkunku from Saint Etienne for 8.5 million euros. Nkunku joined the French side this summer from Everton for a fee of 2.5 million euros due to a buy option from his last loan deal. Interesting. Yeah, Saint Etienne have sort of had our pants down a little bit there. There is a percentage sell-on fee for Everton, so we will get some money from it, but obviously we won't get the full 8.5 million. Interesting though for Nkunku. I always liked him when he played for us, but I didn't like it's tough going forward. I thought he looked decent. He had that raw ability, but then I say that he's young. Most young players have that no fear running at defenders. But I did also think that defensively, there's no way I'd be happy with him being my left back. Left midfielder maybe, but not a left back. I thought he was too adventurous. But obviously Frankfurt see something in him there, so it'd be very interesting to see. And although it's not the full 8 million euros, it's some money, isn't it? We also have the Sporting striker Youssef Chimiti is waiting to receive a visa before joining Everton for the £13 million on a 5-year contract. He is a young lad, so obviously that makes a bit more sense. He'll be, 24 when that's up. This came via Record Portugal. Listen. The visa, that's going to take a little bit of time. Then he'll have to have his medical. That takes a little bit of time. He might get announced sometime next week, I think. I think he will be announced possibly. I think he'll be the starter next week now, realistically. I don't expect him to be announced before Fulham. We also have that Tom Cannon was due to be at Preston today, but the deal has been put on hold until Everton get some new strikers. That's via the Liverpool Echo. I did mention that previously, that we sort of postponed that. Very, very interesting there. And we now have breaking news, which is that Everton have now submitted a bid for EKITAKE. PSG are considering it. That came via Alan Myers. And then Fabrizio Romano said Everton are in talks with a loan deal to buy, with a loan deal with an option to buy, but PSG want 35 million total package. Negotiations will continue, early stages, lots of clubs keen on him. So that's come from Fabrizio. So finally, to end on, it looks like EKITAKE, it looks like bids have been made now. Fabrizio said it, Alan Myers has said it. PSG aren't that keen on the deals that Everton have put forward, but it's early days. We have done business with them before, so let's see what happens. But that is all we've got time for. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I look forward to reading. See you guys soon.